Okay. Today we are continuing about the public sector accounting courses, or specifically in the sessions for the 9th of June. You can look at your virtual class. In the 9th June, we have a special topic is like a professionals research by the future of public sector accountings. There's a polyphonic debates that you can access this articles from these informations. Yeah, you can access here. This is the documents that you will be download and you can read by yourself. So we can make self individual studies until you have take a lot of informations about these articles. So this article is taken from the Grossi et al. In 2023, is taken from the qualitative research in accounting and management, and the special topic is about what is the public sector accounting research or PSIR. Yeah, I close this PowerPoints for resumes, and you have one quizzes to be done in these sessions, but it will be closed tomorrow until the end of the day. You have to discuss, and you only have 30 minutes to answer the questions, the following questions. We have three questions. After you join about the quiz in the session in 9 June. Yeah. Okay. For the first times, we need to learn about the spatial topics. Let me to change to the PowerPoints. Yeah. This is our spatial topic for this night. Yeah. We will take some informations about the articles from the Grossi and the others. It should be published in a Emerald Journal. This is a very provincial journals, specifically in the public sector accountings. So, what is the agenda or what is the containing about these sessions or these journals? So, in these sessions, I have a three kind of objective. Uh, we will show you and what is the understanding concepts between the evolutions and the state of the art about the public sector accounting research or PSIR. And in this class, we have exploring the key themes, the research method that has been exploring in these journals, and also the theoretical explanations about the articles, and also discussing about the future direction and about the potential for the interdisciplinary research that should be help for students to gain some informations to prepare about the next what we want to do next by the public sector accounting research. So to starting about the point about the accounting research, or specifically in PSIR or public sector accounting research, we need to know about the research process that has been in general. We have a sum of many questions or many questionnables that should be against our knowledge or maybe against our norms. So we need to develop the research topics that maybe we have a bit of challenging about the theoretical or maybe in a practical. So you need to develop the research questions. Starting from these questions, you can choose about how to answer your questions. In the positionings, how to answer your questions, you need to choose about what is the designs to answer your questions. You can make some several designs, and then you will be gather some data. We name it data collections, and then we analyze the data that we have gathered from the publics. So after the analysis, we have making some assemble or making for the first draft of the conclusions. And from these conclusions, we can make some comparisons to the practical process or challenging about the current theory. So in this class, we will learn about the concepts, the basic concepts, why we do this research and why we explore this research. And in practical knowledge, we will find some implications for the public policy research. So that is the definitions about the research. And specifically, what is the PSIR in a definitions? It's similar with the research process. PSIR is a kind of the accounting research, especially in the public sector, and they want to be answer what we have the questionables or what we have to observe. In the reasons area, we have the against the theory, and also we have some public policy or the public rule. So the PSIR will be evolved in more than one disciples. Yeah. It's not only talking about the accounting, but it's make the public policy will be have some interference from the governmental, from the citizens, the sociology, and also with the policy. So some of the public sector accounting research is containing about the how to create a public policy that will be beneficial for the citizen. So the key elements to be conducted in a public sector accounting research is about the accountability and also the budgets that we can be measured by the numbers and also the performance, even they are the non-profit performance, and also how to report and how to create some audit process in a public sector accounting. In a historical overview, we find the three era about the what is the we call the cornerstone of the public sector accounting research. Yeah, the public sector is basically have a posits from the new public management concept. So we can divide in the three area before the NPM or the pre-NPM, and in standing position for the NPM era, and after that or the post of NPM, the new public management. In the pre-non-public new public management is before the 1980, a lot of the public accounting research has been fragmented and they have been separate in every disciples. We have the point of view in accountings. We have the point of view in the budgets. We have a point of view in the sociology and also point of view in the political context. This is the era before the NPM is applied or pre-NPM. And after then, starting in 1980 to 20, we have the NPM era. This era, we have focus on the efficiency, the value of money, and also with the basic transaction in accounting based on accrual base, not in a cash basis. So after that, after 20s, we have made some several changes. So in the post of new public management will be going in a hybrid sessions. They are starting to changing from the cash to accruals. So with the hybrid sessions or with these hybrid concepts, we make some pluralisms interference like the theoretical perspective and also with the methodology, and we still have a focus on a public value. This is our main focus, not by the profit or not a profit. We focus on the public performance so they can will be measured by the public value. So this is the historical overview why we want to have some big drawing about the public sector accounting research. Yeah, we have a good understanding. We have a good standing point like the new public management concepts. In these concepts, we have several framing about the time in 1980 to 20s. Yeah. In this era, We have to combine about the two conditions of organizations. We can have a point of view for the arm length organizations that should be in do or don'ts in your organizations, and also it will be against about these management styles, the techniques, as also with the informations or the conclusions according to the business sector. I know this is very different with the governmental or non-profit sector, but basically they don't have any global standards. And until the global standard is come, they still comparing about the public sector through the business sector. So, and after that, they can make some separations. For the public management or the public sector, they only focus for triple E, for the efficiency, the effectiveness, and also for the economy or the productivity and accountability. So this is why we starting using the new public managements. And until now in 2010, we have starting for the new era about the new public performance. So there will be call up, there will be having some focus and highlights to be a public performance, not only in the public tech sector techniques. Okay, this is how the NPM is while changing about the situations. Yeah. In the next point, we have a legacy after the NPM has been implemented in every countries. Yeah, the NPM is starting as the new era for the public sector management. So in this area, in 1980 to 20s, we are joining in the golden age of NPM. Yeah, we have lots of the progress. We have lots of a goodness about the NPM applications or NPM reform for the governmentals. But after that, in 20, we are going to the golden age. Yeah, we are moving from the golden age of NPM going to the golden cage. Yeah. So is it bad news or maybe we have the underdevelopments? Yeah. We can look at for the tree of emphasis. Like this is still relevant from the performance-based budgets or it doesn't irrelevant. The second ones, we need to know about the value for money auditing. Not only about the number or the cost of efficiency, we look at for the value for money and also for the managerial controls that should be take on for their resources. So the ability of governments, the ability of public sector will be combining about the performance, the valuing, and also with the managerial skill. So while we cannot mix from this emphasize, we are make in the NPM trap. So we call it the golden cage of NPM reform. And after that era, we have some critics and also the transitions. Before we are going the best of public governance voluntary. Yeah. The NPM is a phase about the pitfall. The pitfall is creating about not every accounting process is in a good conditions and in a good mood to be explored or to be solving the problem in a governmental accounting and also in the public sectors. So we call it about the accountingizations. Yeah, any kind we develops to the accounting techniques, but it creating some traps for evaluations. Sometimes or most of the performance doesn't measure by the number. They are measured by the satisfactions. They are measured by the services. A good services or maybe for a good appearance, not in a number of efficiency. So after this area, The post NPM will focus about the hybrid of productions. So they are not only focused on the cost efficiency, they are moving to the performance evaluations. So it will be a plural measurements and citizen can engage and can monitor about their public performance and also public governance because they are mostly in an open area for monitoring and reviewing from the citizen. And theoretically, we can find from these articles, we have the dominant theory that the public sector accounting research has been improving for informations. We have found the new public management theory because it's still the best or maybe it's the good point of view while we are looking for the public sector accounting research. The second one is about the institutional theory because our subject of research is based on the institutions like a government or a unit agency and also for the society or maybe for the community. So it means that we need an institutional process, institutional rules that they are containing in institutional theory. And while we're talking about the how to manage, how they governs the activity, we also have a theoretical from the governmentality. This is the three dominant theory that we can find in the public sector accounting research. But after the NPM faced their pitfall, they have a new directions. The theory has been moving from the public value. They are looking at how good the performance, not how much the cost of efficiency, how much the rate of efficiency. It doesn't like that, doesn't simple like that. When they are looking for how good the public value, the public image, or how many dialectic of accountability that represent from the governments to citizens, and also they are trying to keep on their democracy because democracy is mostly happen in every countries. So this is the new directions that we can found in the public sector accounting research. With this point of view, we have a public area. We have the sociology according to the students and also with the citizens. We also can make some view from the psychology. So we need to create these informations, all of this point of view, into interdisciplinary engagement. Not specific in accounting again, but they are moving more in interdisciplinary. So it's very conciseness. In the methodology, we have some changes, starting with the dominant methods that should be happen or should be found in every accounting research, especially in the public sector. Most of them using the qualitative case study because they have a specific objects to be explored, to be observed, and to be solved from every questions. And they depend on their historical analysis, how they solve the problem, how they create or manage the problems. It's as simple like that. This is the dominant methods that we can find. Yeah. But before of that, we have also uh, the new era about the experimental methods. We can create some new controls area or new treatment for a specific activity. So we can make some mixed method for evaluations or the methodology, even they are in qualitative or also in the quantitative. But we have lots of this data in emerging economies. Yeah, this is still underutilized. So this is the open area to be growing up for the future research. In a global perspective, this is the implementations of the global standards and also the implementation that they will be conclude in interdisciplinary. We are not make some a central objective from the Western countries. No, I know Western countries is fast forwards country that should be have a good accountability, good responsibility, but we have to looking down in our area. We are in emerging economies like Indonesia, Philippines, the Vietnam, Singapore, and also Malaysia. We are in emerging economies. Most of the countries in Asia have in area of emerging economies. So we still have a challenges informations. We have a challenges adoptions for the IPSAS or global standard. The second challenges is about the need of the contextualize about the NPM reform because every country have the different type of implementations. Some of them make some implementation in a full additions or the full standards, but not at all. They will be make some new adjustment or maybe they create we can say that they have a half adjustment or the half adoption about the global standard in IPSAS. And the last one, we have the role about the donors and also it's depend on the local capacity. If we have the local capacity that cannot help us to create some um, new informations or new the profitability, so we can find about there is a different global perspective between countries to countries. So we need to compare them by CBC report, country by country reports. In the future, this is the big point or maybe the opportunity to do public sector accounting research. We can start about the digitalizations and the using of AI in a public sector accounting. Yeah, we are in this era, the digitalization and the era of artificial intelligence. The second one, we still focus on the public value or the publicness of area. And then we can going deepen one to the civil society or maybe for the counter of accounting products or accounting's output. More to be deepened in accounting area, we can evaluate the performance and also the non-financial performance to be compare reports by reports or maybe to create some non-monetary measurements that could be make some standard from globals to local standards. And in the end of the combination in the future research, we can make some interdisciplinary research using the social equity in budgeting. We are not looking for the number value of the budgets, but we can evaluate which budgets or how much budgets that could be socialized, could be implemented to the good program for the citizenship. So until this area or until this era, we have some new embracings for the public policy development. So this is the future of the public sector accounting research. We are going to the public policy decisions. That is the uh, new area to be explored in the public sector accounting research. So what about the performativity? Yeah, the performativity is still exists in the PSIR. But we need to separate in two areas for the accounting only or for the changes. In accounting only, we have the performative rather than the descriptive tools. So we are not looking accounting as a tools. No, accounting is a subject of performance. Accounting is subject for the measures that we have any combinations that could be compared to another tools that should be show up in our reports. And for the changes, we can make some narrative or the new changing in narrative from the reporting to become more realistic. This is the role of performance that it's now or currently happen in every audit report in the public sector. So, in the last standing or the last positions, we are looking for the actions. Yeah. In academic style, we have looking for more actions to build about the interdisciplinary network. You can join. You can create some discussions time. You can create a timelines or maybe share about your research with another one or maybe another researchers, not only in accounting, maybe for a management, probably for the psychology, the public policy, and also for the governmentals. Yeah, we can make some bridge of research and practice gap. Yeah, we need to bridging that gap between the research and the practices, because the research is not only talk about the theoretical, but how the theory can be applied in the practicals. Yeah, we need your actions to do this. Yeah, and embrace their critical actions to the global perspective. We have lots of actions in a local area. This is the critical factor. But how good we can embrace these critical actions to the global perspective or the global standards. We need a lot of the researcher, we need a lot of students that have been make a new point of view about how to creating a local standard or adapting global standard into the local standards. And the last one is about calling to graduate students that has been interested in a public sector accounting research. Yeah, we know that there is a lot of the easiness to gather some data from the profits activity or maybe for the public companies. Yeah, we can say that we can find in every public websites to get these informations, but not at all is focusing on the public sector accountings. We still a lack of research, we have a lack of knowledge, and we doesn't think that we have a lot of gaps about this public sector. So we need to call and encourage you as a graduate student to take an interest in for governmental accounting or public sector accounting. So in the futures, we can create for a better performance, the better public policy that should be applied or implements to the good citizenships and also creating about the good governance area. So this is the sum up of the containing about our articles that has been uh, shown you as your base to know about the public sector accounting research. Before I going to another informations, do you have any questions to be discussed or maybe to be answers by the materials or maybe for this informations? Any questions so far?
None, sir.
Okay, thank you for responding. While you doesn't have any questions, we can take it back to your virtual class. Yeah, this is the next to-do list in your activity. I give you 1 day until tomorrow in the end of the day until the Tuesday in 10 June. Yeah, you need to discuss. You can discuss by your friends or maybe you can discuss with the another and answer the following questions. We only have 3 questions to be answered. The question number one is about how can the public sector accounting research can be more inclusive in a global context. So to answer these questions, you need to know how the global of your accounting research or how global about the public sector that you know in your knowledge. Yeah. This is the first questions. The next question is how the public sector accountings can play in a crisis and also in the resilience. As we know, we are facing about the global crisis in 20 and 10s. We are moving about it. And also we have the new era from the COVID-19 in the last of 3 years. Yeah. How the public sector can be resilient. The government still exists. The government still support the citizens with the medical, with the services, full of services, and also they playing a role of having good play role for the modification in economics. So, what do you think about the role of this public sector accounting? And the next question is about the simplest point, how accounting can promote the public value. Under your knowledge, you will to thinking how you can promoting the value even you are doing accounting in a public sector, not in a profit area. So you need to gain not any kind of information. You need to gain a lot of information about that, and you need to be answered in 30 minutes. So I hope you can enjoy this sessions, and we can continuing about the another sessions. We have still one left sessions for the next week in the 16th of June. Yeah, we have a wrap up session for preparation about the final test, and I hope you can join again fully in a team, or maybe for the our last meeting, so we can prepare you better for the final exams. I think that's all for me to inform you about the materials today, the preparations for the quizzes, and also the information for the next meetings. Any questions before I close the sessions tonight? Or do you have any information from the virtual boards, Alexa?
Yes, sir.
Any informations to the students?
No, I just want to make sure, is this the last class or there will be
No,
another?
we still have one left
Okay.
class in 16 June.
Okay. Sure, noted. Thank you so
We'll meet
much.
again in next week for the last class. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming tonight. I hope you get some informations, gather some new knowledge in the public sector accounting research, and we'll see you again in next week for the last courses in this semester. Thank you everyone. Keep a good health and see you next week.